Holy shit. Boxing history this past weekend. And honestly, as y'all know, we are ecstatic about it because Team Bud all the way. But before we get into that, we're all takes no whiffs. I'm Christian. That's Alex. And Terence Crawford, dog. So many
The
people I
best.
knew. So many people I knew were going for Errol Spence. And not only going for Errol Spence, talking down on Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford heard all that shit because wow, that performance against Errol Spence, ninth round stoppage. Honestly, you could argue it should have been stopped sooner, which is this is a shocking performance to be honest because we know how good Terence Crawford is, but we knew how good Spence was, and
There were levels, honestly, in this fight, and I was not expecting that at all.
not at all. And I'm seeing a lot of people have the opinion that Errol Spence looked off that night, and to an extent, I would have to say a little, but I think the majority reason for that was Terence Crawford threw him the hell off.
He's
Terence
just
was
that damn good.
faster. Terence was faster. He was sharper. The power difference was he felt that power for sure. The jab in the second round for the knockdown, I think that was like I think that pressured Spence to try to respond. And the thing with Spence is he wasn't nearly as sharp. A lot of his shots were looping, and I really think Bud just all around outclassed and dominated him. Real stuff.
Bud was prepared. Bud had a game plan, and it was just played out to perfection. To be honest, he probably honestly wanted to get this done a little earlier. I knowing him, to be honest, but this was just an all-time great performance, to be honest. And to be honest, when the walkouts were happening and when Crawford came out, I was honestly kind of surprised that Spence came out first, since Spence had the three belts and then Bud came out second. But Bud coming out with Eminem, to be honest, that was just electric. And Bud just coming down, he just absolutely looked like he was on a mission. And then once that first bell rang, it was pretty much just all Bud after that because it was just straight up dominance. Christian already has pretty much said everything to a T, though. But what were your thoughts to the first knockdown, the first time Spence had ever hit the canvas in his career?
Shocked that it was on a jab because kind of reminded me of when Terence Crawford did Kell Brook like that. And obviously, it wasn't like the same situation. Crawford wasn't nearly ready to go in for the kill right there, but kind of definitely shocked me to the point that I was like, okay, I was right with this Crawford pick because once I saw that, my confidence just shot right up because I'm telling you, it's so many people that I know they were just thinking Errol Spence was going to win. And credit to Spence going into the fight, I thought it was a damn near 50-50 fight, but as soon as that knockdown happened, honestly, that went to maybe like 80-20.
Hey, he was already dominating the fight before that, too.
Yeah. And honestly, it started off with the jab. Like his jab just looked so much crisper than Spence's jab. He was beating him after when he was starting his jab after Spence, and it was kind of evident that Crawford had the athletic advantage. I would say for sure. He was just had more spring in his feet, more just sharpness with his punches, the quickness. He was definitely the guy with the speed advantage. I'm not gonna lie because it was just kind of crazy how he was beating Spence to the punch to every exchange.
Oh yeah, and the countering was really good too. I mean, he was
Mhm.
just I mean, there just really wasn't one bad thing he was doing in this fight. And with how athletic Crawford is, his athleticism is just honestly unreal in the ring, and that I feel like helps him get away with some of the things in the ring, especially against some of these top fighters like Spence, and it kind of proved it in this fight.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree with that. Crawford's just a top of the line athlete, and yeah, not that he lacks anything technically, in my opinion. I think he's all the way there technically. It's just he could take more risks. That I think that's the best way to put it. He could definitely take more risks as a fighter, being more athletic, having an unexpected reach advantage in most cases. And yeah, I'm just Crawford definitely he displayed it was a masterclass performance to be honest. That's the best way I could put it. One of my favorite things was honestly just picking it up as a southpaw myself. The way he was defending the left hand from the southpaw, he just had his rear hand just coming up across his face. Like there's normally people keep it here, but he was a lot of times he was just sitting right here and then moving off of that. And Spence had Spence really had nothing. It kind of nullified Spence's left hand in a way. I feel like, and that was a dope little thing to pick up too. But overall, Crawford was just better. It's just it didn't seem like he was facing the number 5 pound for pound fighter in the world. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah, he definitely did not look like he was fighting the number 5 pound for pound fighter in the world. I think we have a clear number 1 and 2 at, pound for pound in the world. Bud put himself at 1. A New Way support performance earlier this week put him at number 2,
Mhm.
but I would say one of my favorite moments from this fight, I think it was right before the fight kind of ended in that last knockdown when Crawford knocked down Spence, saw Charlo in the crowd, went over to him and told him, "You're next." So kind of gets us into our next part of this video. So, Christian, who would you like to see Bud fight next? And would you like to see a rematch?
I honestly want to give Spence the benefit of the doubt. Not the benefit of the doubt based off of the last fight and the performance, but like I do want to give him another chance because he did say he felt off timing wise. So let us like he was a long time champion before that. I would say we should give him the chance to prove otherwise if he feels that way. But
What weight division?
154 without a doubt. I think that'd be the ideal thing for both fighters, to be honest. Because
And
Crawford,
Spence has already said that too.
yeah, Spence has been fighting at welterweight his whole career. Crawford saying it's already tough for him to make welterweight, and Crawford wants, like you said, he wants Mel Charlo at 154 soon. So get acclimated at that weight with another big fight, going in with that sort of confidence because the way he just did Errol Spence, I would feel like if I was Terence Crawford, I'd be like, I'd probably do it easier this time around. But who knows? Maybe Spence could actually prove otherwise that things weren't so bad. So I would say a rematch is definitely fair. Spence definitely needs some time to recover though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's gonna need some time to recover and come up with a new game plan because this one they can just scrap it and throw it out the window because they're gonna need something for the next fight against Crawford if that happens. But I'm with you. I really want to see a rematch between these two. I think Spence can make it a more competitive fight. I still think that Bud would probably win, but I definitely think that Spence can make it a more competitive fight. And there's honestly a lot of names around 147 and 154 that these guys could fight, and there's some big names and big fights that could come around. I know Tim Zoo's around here. We got Charlo and Boots Ennis because I think any of those guys, it would just be a great fight and would bring a huge draw.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think realistically, what I think is going to happen, I think since the rematch should happen next with Crawford and Spence, I think a vacate is going to happen. I think they're going to vacate, or I think Crawford's going to vacate. Excuse me. They're both going to move up to 154. I'm going to be honest. I think some boxing politics. This is a crazy prediction. I think boxing politics is going to come into play. Charlo probably going to get stripped of maybe 1 or 2 titles because of the Canelo fight. You know, he's not defending his titles or anything. A lot of time's going to pass. And then going to put a vacant title up for the Spence Crawford rematch at 154. And then I think Boots gets a title opportunity as a vacant title at 147. That's how I think it's going to play out, to be honest. I don't think Crawford's going to fight Boots. Not that I think he doesn't want to fight him. It's just the rematch clause. That's definitely a thing if Spence wants to set that into motion.
He pretty much already has to.
Exactly. And I don't feel like they're going to run it back at 147, considering they're both saying
They want to
147
go
might
up.
not be ideal. So, yeah, maybe a deep into the future prediction, but
I like it.
if I hit on this, I'm gonna like I
We'll
mean
come back to it. We'll come back to it in 6 months, a year, whenever it happens. 2 years, we'll see.
but regardless though, fight of the decade so far because of how big of an event it was and how entertaining it was overall. Even though it was one sided,
Super entertaining.
a lot of people's favorite fighter took the L, and I know a lot of people feel a certain type of way about it, but it was entertaining because levels were shown in that fight. Crawford put on a beautiful display of boxing and just tactical aggression because honestly, it was just he beat the shit out of him. Excuse my language. He really just beat the shit out of Errol Spence Jr. And my favorite thing is it was a long time coming for Bud. He wanted this fight since 2018. a lot of things got in the way for I feel like on his end for this fight, things that were out of his control, like Top Rank. I think Top Rank wasn't with making this fight for him. And also, once he was his own like free agent, once he was signed elsewhere, the negotiations being kind of shaky. I know that was frustrating for him too. So finally having this moment, finally getting the name that he really needed on his resume, all time great if you ask me. Not just pound for pound number one, all time great, solidified, 2-time undisputed at some of the very like most
First
important.
male ever to do that.
Mhm.
Second ever. Alicia Bumgarner was the first earlier this year.
Yep, and honestly, Terence Crawford did it at one of the most historic weight classes at welterweight. A lot of history in boxing has gone on in welterweight, and Terence Crawford has honestly solidified himself among those welterweight greats, if you ask me, because his run at welterweight has been crazy. He's 8-0, 8 stoppages. He's on an 11-fight KO streak as well. That's only second to Beterbiev, I think, in all of boxing right now.
Mhm.
So that's something that goes unnoticed. And Terence Crawford, all-time great without a doubt. Errol Spence, one of the better fighters of this era. Maybe he could bounce back, and I would love to see him bounce back because I rock with Spence too. I'm not gonna lie, even though it was Team Bud going into this fight, and I was really shocked at this performance because this might be performance of the year at whatever SB this is gonna qualify for.
Oh yeah, Bud has definitely solidified himself as an all-time great. He's got a really good resume. All the things you just said right there. 8-0 at the welterweight division, 11 KO streak. I mean, this dude is just at historic pace right now. He's got plenty more fights left in the tank. I know he's 35 years old, but he doesn't look 35 years old out there in the ring. And we're looking forward to seeing what is going to be happening next. And if y'all are too, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you know we are going to be covering Bud or Spence too. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit that like button if you enjoyed this video because we appreciate all the support.
Yeah, go ahead and drop a like if you'd like, but also just to let y'all know, we're going to be updating our pound for pound list as we should. That's going to be coming up soon, so
You
definitely
already
stay
know our
tuned for
1 and
that.
2. I already spoiled that.
Yeah, and honestly, I think no, I'm not even going to say that right now because y'all know what I was about to say. But look forward to that video for sure. It's been a while since we've updated our pound for pound
Hmm.
ranking, so that's definitely overdue. I can't wait to do that. But until then, peace.
Peace.